So today I got asked a really important question, and it's just how do you check to see if you've got semi-transparent pixels? And that is such a loaded question because there's just so much that goes into it. Now this I've actually used what I call an automatic background removal. I literally just selected, um, I'll show you. I'll back it up. Let's F12. This is a low res image. It's not suitable for actually removing the background, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it anyway to try to simulate what happens. And then I'm going to put some actual like fake semi-transparency. So I've got my brush and I've got a low opacity, and I'm just going to kind of simulate what happens and what you see, sometimes when you have a bad background. I'm just clicking around. It might already be a bad background removal. I might not even need to do this step, but just in case,
Yeah.
I'm trying to make it happen. So here we go. I'm making it happen. And there we go. So I've got some semi-transparents. I know they're there. And what's so wild is you can't see them. Like you can't see anything wrong. Now my trained eyes can see that like there's semi-transparent pixels all along this edge. And the way the background removal tool in Photoshop works is it's actually created a layer mask. I'm going to go ahead and apply that layer mask to show you if you had a semi-transparent or a transparent image, supposedly transparent image like this one, where we've got opaque and then we've got transparency. And you do a layer mask from transparency. That's how you get that layer mask. So now you can hold Alt and select it, and then you can see the transparency. Okay, so I'm looking for those little semi-transparent dots that I tried to put all over the place, and I don't really see them. I'm gonna make sure some are there. Let me just go ahead and apply that mask again. I know they're there because I'm drawing them, so they should be there. I'll make my opacity a little higher. I'll do 10%. The point that I'm trying to make is that I'm creating this stuff that you can't see, and automatic background removal tools do this. They create these little dots all around. Okay, and just to prove that to you that they're there, like we can't see them, maybe you can barely see some faint stuff there. If you do blending options and you put a stroke on it outside and you make it a strong color, either pink or magenta or green or something like that, then they are just going to become very evident. So if I just set that to 1 pixel, you can now see all that trash, I call it mess on the canvas, that has been created. And if I turn that stroke off, you just can't see it. You turn it on and you can. Now, let's turn that off and let's do that layer mask tool. And let me show you another way to look for them. The best practice is just to take the background off correctly, and then you won't have this problem. So that's the way to solve this. But this is how you can demonstrate it for yourself. Now, with that mask on, everything that's solid white, that is going to be fully opaque. And everything that's solid black is going to be fully transparent. But these gray areas here, and all these little gray pixels along the edge, you'll see them right here. These are just going to light up. It's going to paint full white behind it when the DTF printer prints. Those are going to actually be white. And so this is a visualization. That's all this is intended to be, is to show you what the problem is. And then, no need to stay for this because I've answered the question, but let me show you how to solve the problem. Okay. So the way to solve the problem, with an image like this is not salvageable. This is a hot mess image. I just went back to ChatGPT, which is I think where that came from in the first place. And I used Pro, and the colors are all wrong. That's normal. That's ChatGPT for you. But I've made this better image. It's not perfect by any means, but it's a lot better than that one, as far as a crisp and clear image. Okay. And then, the way to take a background off correctly, gosh, I got all this stuff open here, guys. Let me get rid of some of that.
I have a speed photo editing video I'm going to show you.
Awesome, awesome. So the way to take the background off correctly is just to select the image and upscale it. So I'm going to find that ChatGPT image. So I'm using this free software upscale. I'm going to make it nice and big. Okay. And then I'm just going to upscale this. And then once it's upscaled, it's going to show up back in that same folder. And I'm just going to, now that it's large, I have a lot more pixels to work with. And so when you zoom in at the pixel level, you're actually going to see a lot finer line there. Let's make this actually show pixels. Look at how fine that line is, okay? So to take this background off properly, I'm going to set my magic wand. I got my contiguous checked. Tolerance is 80. I'm just going to click on this outside area. I'm going to click inside a couple of little spots here, like right there and right there. And I'm just going to unlock it because it's locked right now. So we'll unlock that and hit delete. Before I hit delete, though, I'm going to do select, modify, expand. Okay, let me zoom in and show you what's happening right now. So it is right there on this edge. Okay, we've got a large image, so we're able to make a fine cut. But there's still this little gray all the way around, and I don't want that. Okay, so I'm going to do select, modify, expand, just one pixel, and that's going to do a better job. See, there's still a little problem there, and if you need to, I don't think you need to here, but you can actually just draw that out and fix those little corners if you need to. I think that's going a little too excessive, but what we see here is it's moved in, so where it's not on the very edge, it's just inside it. And now when I hit delete, I'm going to have a cleaner edge along that outside. Now, if I wanted to obsess about this, I think this would actually print just fine, just the way it is. But if we're getting obsessive, what we could do is we could do a layer mask from transparency. We could hold Alt and select the mask, and then we could threshold it. So I'm going to hit Control D, and we're going to look at the pixel level, and we're going to see that there's still some semi-transparencies. I really don't think these would actually be a problem. But what we can do is do image, adjustments, and threshold. And this will fix it. Now there's a stair step. I mean, it is literally white and literally black on the outside. And if we switch over here, we can see that it is perfectly cut. So there are no semi-transparent pixels on this document. So what's left to get this ready to print? We're going to do image trim, transparent pixels. We're going to do image size. We're going to set this to 15 inches because most people don't want to print anything wider than that. We'll set the resolution to 300. That's going to make a 4,500 pixel image. And I just want to point out before I commit on that I've already got a 5988 pixel, and it looks very sharp at that scale. So when I make this 15 by 300, it's even sharper now. So this is going to be perfect. I'm going to hit OK. Another thing I want to point out, if you're an obsessive person, I don't think this is necessary, but I just want to show you. If I do a layer mask now from transparency, oh, we already got one. If we go check on our mask, look, that resize, even scaling down, Photoshop's natural anti-alias has actually created those semi-transparent pixels again. So if you are obsessive, you want to go ahead and threshold that. So you want to do image, adjustments, threshold. And now that's the size I'm going to print it at 15. So if I was going to print this at 12 inches or 8 inches or 10 inches, what I would want to do is get it to that size and then threshold it. So that's what a true professional would do if they were preparing an image for print. Hey, thanks for watching my tutorials, and I hope this helps.